Chief Russell Stroud, Chattanooga Radio News Talk 92.7 Action News now.
After this cold and frosty start, expect lots of sunshine and much better weather for your Friday. Finally warming up a bit, highs lower 50s. Tonight, clear, chilly, and frosty again, lows lower 30s. For Saturday, lots of sun, looking great, highs 60 to 62, nice for Sunday as well. Rock City's Enchanted Garden of Lights returns with sweet treats, dazzling views, the world's largest walk-through digital Christmas tree, and over 1 million colorful lights. Visit CRockCity.com for tickets and special weeknight pricing. And I'm Sorgene 12, Chief Meteorologist Patrick Ford.
92.7. Listen to that. That's the sound of power and the call of the open road. That's the sound of the newly designed 2019 Indian Chieftain Limited. Yeah, Indian. It's more than a bike. It's an experience and an American icon. The place to find it, Indian Motorcycle of Chattanooga, along with their entire new 2019 line. The open road is calling. Answer the call. Go to Indian Motorcycle of Chattanooga. Just look for the sign on 153 and Amnicola. Indian Motorcycle, the true American original.
Hi, this is Scott Schrader. Tune in Saturdays for We've Got You Covered. From finance to fixtures and all things in between, when it comes to your home, we'll help steer you in the right direction. We've Got You Covered, 10 to 12 every Saturday on Nooga Radio 92.7 FM.
On Nooga Radio 92.7 First Responder Friday, we salute Trooper Brian Posey of the Tennessee Highway Patrol, going over and above in the line of duty to protect and serve. Trooper Brian Posey will be receiving our Nooga Radio prize pack. If you see Trooper Brian Posey today, tell him thank you. Trooper Brian Posey, a first responder you can count on. If you would like to nominate a first responder for First Responder Friday, email noogaradio@gmail.com.
92.7 Nooga Radio.
All right. Good morning, Chattanooga, Hamilton County. I hope you're out there. All right. It's Friday, and I am so happy we call it Friday around here. All right. You are on the Donna Christian Lowe Chattanooga Midday Show, and we are bringing all things community to you. We're talking about people, information, and resources you need to connect you to people to be and live your best life. All right. Well, we are here today. Engineer, I don't think I can hear myself. Need you over here. So we are here today with the Grateful Gobbler. I came in my studio. Yes, now I can hear me. Thank you. Came into the studio today, and this lady was hanging out front. So we just figured, why not have her on here? So have you signed up for the Grateful Gobbler, Chattanooga, Hamilton County? If you haven't, you're missing it. So today,
absolutely,
we have, now I'm going to say this, it's an endearing term, but I've heard you guys called the Grateful Girls, Gobbler Girls. What is it?
We are Gobble Girls.
Gobble Girls. Okay.
Gobble Girls and Gobble Guys. We don't leave the guys out.
Okay, so exactly, we can't have a Gobble Girl without a Gobble Guy, right?
Yeah.
So in that, how did you get to be a Gobble Girl?
Well, I have to say, Betsy McWright made me do it. No,
all right, Betsy. Now, Betsy was going to be on here. We'll get her on here next time. But
Betsy,
I'm just wondering how I can be a Gobble Girl.
Betsy, oh, well, girl, we can make that happen today.
We can?
Yes,
wait a minute.
All right. So I would like to officially announce that today, what's today's date? November 17th?
Yes.
Okay. 16th. November 16th. You are now officially crowned.
Right.
An honorary Gobble Girl.
Yes. So I know you see this on Facebook. Now I'm a Gobble Girl. So I get to go around next year talking about this funny thing.
You do. Hey, there's still time.
Right. But you got to wear the hat.
You got to wear the hat.
All right. So again, we are here, all jokes aside, we are here to talk about our community. That's what we do on the Donna Christian Lowe Chattanooga Midday Show. We bring events to you, but not just events, right? We bring meaningful events that are truly impacting our community. So the Grateful Gobbler has been around for how many years?
This is our 19th year. Is that amazing?
19, older than my son. Wow.
I know.
Yeah. Now, I do remember that. I remember when it first started and people were asking me, are you going to be in part? Are you going to be a part? I'm like, who in the world is going to walk around, run around? Hold up. Look who just walked in the studio. We got a turkey, literally a turkey in the studio.
I love it.
Awesome. But Teresa, literally, I was telling people, like, you're not ever going to get me in a turkey hat. No doubt. I will run. I will walk. I think we walked. But I said, no way. Guess what I'm doing right now? I'm not wearing the hat, but I'm entertaining it, right?
Absolutely. Getting the word out.
So you guys have really made this fun. And I'm going to say from the marketing and advertising, you guys have killed it. Kind of funny that we're talking about turkeys. And I just said killed it. That was a joke, Chattanooga. You should have got that. Can I get a drum roll?
It's still early. Hey, where's the coffee?
Thank you. But you guys have really put a lot of work in. So let's make sure I like to give the who, where, why, when, what, right? So first of all, the Grateful Gobbler Walk. When does it happen?
It happens on Thanksgiving morning at Coolidge Park.
Okay.
Now, the actual walk itself, so I say runners, walkers, rollers, strollers.
Yes, put it all in there.
Everybody is welcome. Pets are welcome. That will start at 8 a.m. But the festivities, the stage festivities, which I think, a lot of people will get there after the fact. We want to make sure that people get there for all the fun, the excitement, the atmosphere. We're going to shoot shirts out of a cannon. There'll be music. It's going to be amazing.
And plenty of the turkey hats, I'm sure.
Yes, we're selling lots of what we call gobbler swag. This is our swag, and I am the swag queen.
So I need some swag. I need some Donna swag. I'm going to get with you guys.
Okay.
I need some Donna swag.
You need a tutu.
I do. I need it all. But now, again, going back to this event, it is on Thanksgiving Day. But you know what I've learned is a lot of people, Teresa, make this their family thing. They make it their company thing. And so, I want to kind of put a big shout out, kind of call to action to people in the community. You still have plenty of time to sign up for this. But there's nothing better than having a tradition. People look for traditions, Teresa. So you can literally get up in the morning, a Thanksgiving morning, do nothing different, right? Take a couple, 3 hours out of your day, make it a tradition, get down there, walk, roll, stroll. You don't even have to walk. I'm going to say that. You can hang out, right?
You can hang out. Yeah.
But it is a way to make a family tradition. And, I think about Chattanooga. Chattanooga, Hamilton County, the region, but specifically Chattanooga. Teresa, we are great at bringing things like this together.
Absolutely.
Right? So talk about I was looking at the pictures, and anything that comes on my show is going to represent like inclusivity. So when I looked at the pictures, now again, I've been to this. It's a great event. But what I saw was red, yellow, black, white, and dogs. So talk about that. Yeah. You guys have been intentional in truly making this an event for everybody. Talk about that.
Everybody. Absolutely. This actually started in 1999. Fred Robinson was instrumental.
Who is that again?
His name is Fred Robinson.
Okay.
With Robinson Management. He was instrumental in bringing this to Chattanooga. He actually went to an event very similar to this in 1998. And he said, Chattanooga needs this. We need something like this to help the community, help the homeless, the hurting, the broken, the poor.
Yes.
And so for the last 19 years, and he brought churches together. Initially, there were several churches that came together and brought the community together to make this happen.
Well, and people always say, for things I'm in, they're like, okay, that's great, but where's the money going? And where's the tangible evidence that this is truly helping people? And there is no problem in that category. So tell the listener that's out there today, where are the funds going? I want them to feel this because you guys are doing something major with the money.
Absolutely. I tell you, this is, it's absolutely, it's near and dear to my heart. I work directly with homeless families and individuals through my day job through the Housing Authority. I'm a grant funded by the McClellan Foundation.
Of course.
And I work with the families, many of the families that coming out of the shelter to help them get into permanent housing. But every dollar, every penny, every walker registration, every sale of a hat, every sponsorship goes directly to the McClellan Family Shelter, every penny.
And there, you're thinking about like, what is that shelter? Literally, if you had to pick up and leave today and move to live somewhere, everything is there you need. Now, there are other things that they get for you from clothing, more personal stuff. But what I love is that, yes, these individuals have a home to go to. And it's a place that has things they need, desire. It's not just, in those environments, sometimes, this, it can be stale. It can be intimidating. It can be, it can just be dreadful, the surrounding. So I think that you guys have really been a instrument in making sure when people are in those situations, they walk into something that's welcoming. Absolutely. And that comes from this kind of event. You don't have the funds for that if you don't have these types of events, right?
And this is the only event that the shelter actually has for the year. This is the only event. And we actually raised $200,000 last year. Our goal,
that was last year.
That was last year.
Grateful Gobbler. Say that again. How much?
$200,000.
Wow.
Yes, for the shelter. And then our goal this year is $225,000.
So now, how many runners does that equate to? I'm just curious.
Okay, so we had 4,200 last year. So yes, and it's made up of runners, walkers, rollers, strollers, but it's also made up of the sleepwalkers and virtual sleepwalkers.
Did you say sleepwalkers?
Sleepwalkers.
That's my kind of walking.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't have to get out of bed.
Yeah, these are people that say, Teresa, I am not like Donna, I'm not getting up. I'm not running. I'm not walking.
Hey, Chattanooga, I'll come talk about it. I'll set up a post and talk and watch you run, but that's about it.
So you're invited.
Okay.
But yes, you can
put me on the finish line is all I ask. Please do not put me out in the wilderness where I have nobody to talk to.
Oh, no. You got to have somebody to talk to. There'll be plenty of people there to talk to you. And I'll tell you what, it's the most fun. I tell people.
Well, you're fun. You're a party waiting to happen.
Hey, I think we're sisters.
I do too.
Kindred spirits.
I think it's that Saudi Daisy thing you said early.
We could be.
Yeah. So let's talk about the flip side of this. It takes a massive amount of volunteers to execute something like this. How many volunteers did you guys have last year?
We had 200. Right at 200. Absolutely. And you can still be a volunteer. So if people are saying, hey.
Okay. So that's all my questions. I want to help. Yep. I had some questions as people were messaging me on Facebook. So let's talk about that. If you want to volunteer, and I will make that call to action for companies. If you want to get your company together, this is not something you have to pick up the phone and call. I mean, you can, but literally make one call maybe, right? We want to volunteer, or you can show up that day. They'll put you to work somewhere.
We will, but we'd like you to register on our website as a volunteer, and you can select what it is that you want to do.
Oh my gosh, y'all are giving us way too many options. So it is on my page and on the Nooga Radio 92.7 FM Facebook page. So if you are a business or an individual or a family and you're saying, I think we need to do this. I think we can volunteer. Get out there, do it. Make sure you communicate with them, A. And then B, if you want to participate, you can as well. And where would they go to do that?
Okay, so you can go on our website. It's gratefulgobblerwalk.org. So you can register as a volunteer. You can register as a walker, a sleepwalker, and I did not mention the virtual walkers.
Yeah, well, we went all over that one. So talk about that again.
Okay, so the virtual walker is someone that says, Teresa, I am going to be out of town.
Or in the bed.
Or in the bed, sleepwalker. And I am not going to be here. So I can't help you. But honestly, you can help. It is only... How much is it? It's $20.
$20?
Yes.
So my question is, are you guys going to do a live feed for all those virtual walkers? Because I want to see where they're virtually walking.
We'll have to check on that. But we are looking for, I know that Betsy's Brigade, 50 States Strong, is looking for a walker, runner, stroller in all 50 states. So she's hoping to have one person from every state to sign up and register. And even though they can't be there, even though they're going to sleep in, even though they're going to be in California or Florida, you know what, you can make a difference.
Well, I'm going to interject something here if I can. When we have these events, it takes a massive amount of police support.
Yes.
Right?
It does.
It doesn't just, and that's something, again, we educate here. A lot of people show up to these events and they're like, oh my gosh, this is so great and organized so well. And the officers are all doing such a great job. Don't you love when somebody calls in on your Facebook Live? But I want to kind of interject something here if I can that we have going on at the Nooga radio station. And it is kind of fitting to this because you do not have an event like this without fire and police intact. So right now, today is Nooga Radio's first ever First Responder Friday. Now we're doing it. We've done it a few Fridays, but I'm going to go ahead and inject that. But every Friday, we're going to honor the men and women who put themselves in harm's way for us. And these are first responders right now. Now we know there's a ton of first responders going to be at the Grateful Gobbler, right?
Absolutely.
But let's talk about how they can nominate them because it's just a good time to do it. But if you know a first responder, my dad was a fireman. Man, I wish he was around because I would nominate him 10 times. And you'd like to nominate that person for a Nooga Radio First Responder prize pack. Send their name information to noogaradio@gmail.com. We want to let them know how much we value their dedication and what they do for our community. First responders. Could you imagine one day without them?
No.
Nope. So Nooga Radio 92.7 FM does a good job at making sure we recognize and thank them. So with that being said, I'm going to talk to the Chattanooga Police Department next week. Got a couple of people coming on from there. What part do they play in this? And how do you guys bring all of this together? It's a massive event.
Well, I have to say, Betsy and Stan McWright have been the chair and co-chair for a number of years now. And
hello, Betsy and Stan. Shout out to you guys.
And they work very closely with the Chattanooga Police Department. And they work together to make sure that everyone stays safe on Thanksgiving morning.
So shout out to Chief David Roddy, Assistant Chief Donna Vaughn, all you guys and gals out there. So go right ahead.
Absolutely. So yes, thank you for all you do. We're so grateful and so appreciative that because you're there and your presence is there. It's just amazing. We love to have you, and we thank you for all that you do.
Absolutely.
For our community.
Well, I want to go back to the marketing and the PR of this, because I'm looking at the bottom of this list, and if you're not at the bottom here, where are you?
Oh, wow.
This is a massive. Now, what am I talking about to the listener?
Yeah.
When you look at the bottom of this poster they've brought in, there's this massive amount of people who have sponsored and supported this, from First Tennessee to TV12, Blue Cross, SunTrust, EPB. You guys have so many people in here. How do you do that? How do you go about and get that kind of support for this kind of event?
It's really just sharing about the mission. And the mission is for the shelter is to make sure that families can get up off the street and into the shelter and have a safe place to stay, while we search for affordable permanent housing for these families. It's about the missions. It's about the families. Although the walk is amazing.
Yes.
It is so much fun. We have so many people there, and we're believing for the 5,000.
Yes.
And we're going to reach and exceed our goal. But it's truly about the families that are in crisis.
Right.
And the community, I believe, in Chattanooga so much, if they know that there's a need.
Yes. Aren't we great about that?
Oh my gosh. They show up. They show up and
I like to say Chattanooga will show up and show out every time.
Every time. I totally agree with that.
So when you think about the things our city's gone through and you think about these types of events, there are also times to bring people together. We have an awesome city. So let's talk about that again. If you're out there listening, I'm going to say, hey, Julie Cook, I saw you on the radio earlier.
Hi,
I need
Julie.
your financial group over there, making sure you have your Grateful Gobbler hats and signed up. But out there, if you are, I see Will Perry with Tranco. You guys who are out there, go ahead and go to your boss, go to whoever you go to, HR, whoever approves these things, and say, hey, we want to get together and do this for the company, right? But in addition to that, again, going back to the family, have you gotten your family involved? This is a time to do it. When you talk about the cost, I always like to make sure we put that out there. The cost to participate is $30. That's for individual. Now that is 13 plus years of age,
Absolutely,
right? Okay.
yes.
Because my kid's 13, so literally he just probably skinned. See, he's at that mark where he doesn't get free meals anymore.
No more free meals.
I hate it. But also, if you're a junior, $15. So even you teachers out there, some of the people that, run these organizations, nonprofits, we got Causeway coming on today. We'll make sure to ask them if they're going to be a part, right? I think they have some cool stuff going on. So talk about the committee. A lot of times people are being a part of these things. And I'm one of those persons, right? So I go and I'm a part of something, but I don't really know how to bring other people into it. So talk about how you bring other people in who haven't done these events before, because they're going to need some convincing.
Well, we go to people like you, such as yourself, that help us to get the word out to the community. And, Carlene Clarity has been amazing. She handles our media and marketing.
So talk about her a minute. What is her firm called? Because she's amazing.
Oh, goodness. So
I'm just going to say Carlene. Clarity. What is it?
Yes. I'm sorry, Carlene.
Hey, how about that? Carlene O'Neill Clarity.
Carlene.
Well, she does. She does an amazing event. And what's funny is you'll find her behind the scenes.
Absolutely.
Right? She pushes her people to the front. And that's, again, one of the reasons why this is successful. You've got that committee. But who are on the committee? Who are the people behind this?
So Stan and Betsy, for sure. We have Ann Billingsley, Tammy Carpenter, Katie. Yes. There are too many to name, honestly. Yes. And just people would have a heart for the mission, have a heart for the families, have a heart for the walk, and love what we're doing. And I'll tell you, there are so many families out there. There are families right now that have been doing this it'll be 19 years this year.
Oh my goodness.
Their babies
again, older than my son.
Yeah, they were in strollers and now they're grown.
Oh, isn't that something?
Yeah, now they have their families, and it truly has been a tradition.
I love it. You brought me this cool shirt, and one thing about being a radio host I'm learning is you get swag. So I'm thankful for the swag. So this says, keep calm and gobble on.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's my reminder. So this is my uniform. So I just look down at it and remind myself, hey, we're almost here. Yes. Thanksgiving. It's an amazing time. And you know what? Thanksgiving is a time to give.
It is.
Thanks.
It is.
We're blessed to be a blessing.
Yes. And sometimes you have to go out of your norm. And that's what I'm going to challenge Chattanoogans today. Hamilton County, if you're in the region and you're listening here today on the Donna Christian Lowe Chattanooga Midday Show, we are about connecting people. We're about connecting people to resources, information, and people they need to live their best life. We believe here in breaking down the barriers, and you can do that with a voice over the radio. You know that, right?
Absolutely.
We can break those barriers down today. So some people are out there saying, I don't have the money to do this, right?
Right.
So what do we do for some of those individuals who want to be a part and they can't because they don't have the money? What would you say to that?
You know what? I would say, because this is it's a fundraiser for the shelter. Every penny goes. But they want to come out and just, hang out. And they say, I don't have the money. I am struggling. I am one paycheck away from being homeless myself, but I would love to come out and spend the day.
Yes.
Tell them to come out. And you know what? They can volunteer.
Absolutely.
So tell them to volunteer. And even the day before, we're going to be at Coolidge Park.
Okay.
We're going to be there from 10 to 6.
Okay.
That's on the 21st. That's Wednesday. You can pick up your walker shirts.
Okay. So is that just for setup and to get kind of get that stuff out of the way?
We're going to set up and people can get their shirts that day so they can avoid all of the hustle and bustle.
Love it.
And they could come out and get it, because if we're going to have 5,000 people there, that's a lot of people. So we'll be in the pavilion.
Okay, at the pavilion. So I do like that. So I do want to put kind of a little side note to that. If you're out there and you are saying, man, I just want to run. My family wants to run. I'll say Facebook message me. We'll make sure we find it. Now, that's not a cry out for everybody who just didn't get enough on their paycheck this week, right? But if there's somebody out there who says, I just want to be a part, message me on Facebook. We'll figure it out for you, right?
Awesome.
But back to what you said, I totally agree. If you are out there and you want to be a part of something and the funds aren't there, I'm a firm believer in making sure everybody has access and exposure. So with that, you can go out and volunteer. I promise you this, if you go up and tell these individuals that, hey, I just don't have the money to do this, but I'm here to give all that I've got, right? My gifts and my talents. Guess what? They're going to say, come on in, right?
Yeah.
Right. Well, I do want to talk about what's coming up next week. I know we've got about a minute or two left, but I want to talk about what's coming up next week. So Monday, we're going to have the Thanksgiving Union Gospel. Basically, it's this program that goes to the Bessie, and it's a church. They go in there and they basically serve everybody. It's a very cool event. Tuesday is Josh Rowe. He wasn't able to make it last week. And Dr. Banks from the city of Chattanooga.
Nice.
Wednesday, we're going to talk about how to protect yourself when you're shopping. Right? Christmas time safety with Zerkops. Tammy Zerkop got a new business owner, Ashley Hardaway, launching a new app. So Wednesday's packed with women. Friday is the Franklin McCauley. And we got a couple other guests coming on that day. So with that, want to let you know that we are loving life here at the Donna Christian Lowe Chattanooga Midday Show. We're talking all things community. Today, we're talking about the Grateful Gobbler Walk. So tell us your name one more time.
Okay, it's Teresa Biggs. I am a Gobble Girl. I'm an official Gobble Girl. Now you're an official Gobble Girl.
I am now an official Gobble Girl. And y'all may see me at the finish line if we can get that worked out, right? Nooga Radio, finish line, but please don't make me run.
Well, you can register on our website at gratefulgobblerwalk.org. And I want to say right now, as of right now, today, this very moment, we still have T-shirts left. So,
all right.
Register.
All right, dance with me.
Woo! Grateful Gobblers here. Get your gobble on here.
All right.
Woo-hoo!
Chattanooga. Friday on the Donna Christian Lowe Chattanooga Midday Show. Hey, we're talking all things Chattanooga. All right, well, we connect you with resources, information, and people to live your best life and be your best self. Chattanooga, it's Donna Lowe. We'll be right back.
3, 2, 1.
Chattanooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4. 92.7 FM's news now.
TDEC says Citico Creek fuel spill was due to illegal dumping. Heading contract workers with Norfolk Southern cleaning a holding tank at the Dubutte's rail yard reportedly pumped contaminants right into the creek. This causing a massive cleanup effort, which only concluded last month. Norfolk Southern has agreed to pay $60,000 in fines. The health department confirming one person is dead of hepatitis A. 400 more are sickened. This outbreak swept across the South, mostly affecting Nashville and Chattanooga. There is a vaccine for Hep A, and it can be cured. It attacks the liver and can be deadly if left untreated. And CARTA Chairman Steve Jett announced he's stepping down after 38 years on the job. Vice Chairman John Bilderback will take over the position until a replacement is named. Jett adding it was especially time for new leadership since CARTA is embarking on an effort to redesign its whole system. Val St. John for Nooga Radio, News Talk 92.7, Action News now.
Sean Hannity, weekday afternoons from 3 to 6 p.m. on Nooga Radio 92.7 FM.
Nooga Radio 92.7.
Chattanooga State brings you Dinner of Firsts, presented by First Tennessee and Morning Point. The event will be a roast of community leader David Wade, who's a first-generation college graduate, and will be held at the Chattanooga Hotel on Thursday, November 29th. Proceeds of the event fund scholarships for first-generation students. Those roasting David include Todd Crawford, Joe Ferguson, Richard Rogers, Steve Rogers, Justin Wade, and Aaron Webb. For more information about Dinner of Firsts, visit chattanoogastate.edu/DOF.
I live, work, and play in Chattanooga, the scenic city. But when it comes to my next car, truck, or SUV, I'm Alabama bound. Fort Payne, Alabama, and Landers McClarty Ford. Big city selection of new and pre-owned vehicles with the small town price and friendly service. Now, I'm not knocking my hometown, but when it comes to my next ride, I only go to Landers McClarty Ford of Fort Payne. Their selection is huge. But if I can't find what I want, they'll find it for me with the same low price, same great service, and only a short drive away. And I can go online to look around before I leave the house. Got that next dream ride in your head yet? Yeah, you do. Get a head start at LandersMcClartyFord@FortPayne.com. Don't just dream it, find it at LandersMcClartyFord@FortPayne.com. That's right, Landers McClarty Ford of Fort Payne, Alabama.
For your small business, ending the year the right way can set you up for success come January. No need to let end-of-year panic set in. Easy Books and Taxes can help set up your books or new payroll service so that you can relax and enjoy the holiday season. With 35 years, bookkeeping, individual, and business tax preparation, it's easy. With Easy Books and Taxes, you run the business, we keep the books. Call us today at 423-755-0821.
Gold, 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 and more gold. And always buy American. At Rick Davis Gold and Diamonds, you'll always get better rates than the banks. We'll convert your silver, diamonds, cash into gold, gold, gold. Precious American gold. Certified by the federal government. Buy American. Rick Davis Gold and Diamonds. 499-9162. Call 499-9162. And visit Rick at 5301 Brainerd Road, Chattanooga. Gold, 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 and more gold.
Even if you like your job, there are some things that can drive you nuts, like the anonymous coward who steals your lunch from the break room fridge, or maybe Tyler, the IT guy, who gives you that condescending look when you tell him that your computer is acting up again, as if somehow it's your fault. You put up with these clowns every single day. But what happens when you've had enough? That's the day you decide to retire. At least that's the hope, right? But will you be able to retire? Can you afford to retire? That's why you need to talk to Ron and Christy Adams at One Family Financial. They can't do anything about Cody, that moron who heats up fish in the microwave, but they can strategize with you on how to get the most out of your 401k or pension, how to grow your money without losing your shirt in the market, and how to help make your money last in retirement. Talk to Ron and Christy today about whether you'll be ready to retire when you finally had it with seeing Ethan walk out of the bathroom again without washing his hands. Gross. Call Ron and Christy Adams at One Family Financial, 423-710-2009, 423-710-2009.
Your home is a constant work in progress. Repaint the walls? Yeah, easy enough. Leaky faucet? There's a video for that. But roof repair? You might want some help. That's where Chattanooga roofing contractors come in. They have 3 generations of roofing excellence you can count on. Leave the ladder in the garage. Go to chatroofing.com. That's chatroofing.com for Chattanooga Roofing Contractors, a roofing company you can trust. Man, you sure you know what you're doing?
Yeah, I worked with my dad on his truck all the time. Just one more bolt to go.
Yeah, wrong bolt. Today's truck ain't your daddy's truck. For repairs on today's vehicles, you need Amco Transmission and Total Car Care of Chattanooga on Lee Highway. Stay on the road, not in the garage. Amco Transmission on Lee Highway. Get it done the right way. The Thompson Pet way. Yeah, I just put that anywhere.
Nooga Radio 92.7's First Responder Friday.
If you would like to nominate a first responder for First Responder Friday, email noogaradio@gmail.com. noogaradio@gmail.com.
Nooga Radio 92.7's First Responder Friday.
Nooga Radio, Chattanooga weather.
After this cold and frosty start, expect lots of sunshine and much better weather for your Friday. Finally warming up a bit, highs lower 50s. Tonight, clear, chilly, and frosty again, lows lower 30s. For Saturday, lots of sun, looking great, highs 60 to 62, nice for Sunday as well. Rock City's Enchanted Garden of Lights returns with sweet treats, dazzling views, the world's largest walk-through digital Christmas tree, and over 1 million colorful lights. Visit SteveRockCity.com for tickets and special weeknight pricing. And I'm Sorgene 12, Chief Meteorologist Patrick Ford.
Nooga Radio 92.7.
All right, come on, Chelsea, you dance, come on. for a fist pump for me. Come on, there we go. You got to do it on the Donna Christian Lowe Show. You can't come on here and not dance. All right, Chattanooga. It is Friday, and you are here live on the Donna Christian Lowe Chattanooga Midday Show. We're connecting you with everything to live your best life. And we're dancing just a little bit. Just a little bit. All right. So happy Friday to you, Miss Chelsea.
Thank you.
We are here with Causeway. If you don't know who Causeway is, you will today.
Yes,
right? Isn't that what Medea
absolutely.
says? Today. So with that Causeway, where there's a cause, there is a way, right?
Right.
Like whoever thought of that was just genius.
I feel like it really just sums it up.
It does. Where there's a cause, there's a way. So I have a personal connection to Causeway because I'm actually part of their alumni.
You are.
I'm going to say superstar
Esteemed alumni.
Esteemed. Y'all heard that straight from her. So Causeway, tell people what Causeway is. So I want people to know before we jump into the event.
Sure, absolutely. So Causeway, we are a nonprofit, and we're here to make sure that anyone who has an idea that will benefit Chattanooga in some way has access to the resources they need to make that idea a reality. So we have classes, we have small grants, and we do a lot of one-on-one coaching with people who have an idea, but that might not have the connections and the resources they need to really do that well.
Right. And I'll tell you, something about Causeway is truly, it is across the board. There's not any business. What I like about Causeway, it's any idea. Does not matter. And y'all have had some crazy ideas come through there. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. I do want to make sure people know what Causeway is. I'm going to share a little bit about my experience. I'll talk about how I won $10,000.
You did.
Now I'm going to leave them hanging on that. I'll have to give details in a minute. Through Causeway. All right, we'll go back to that. Put a pin in it.
We'll pause it.
So for now, though, you are here to talk about what we all know as one table. Let me say that again. It was one table, right?
Right.
So listener, Facebook, it is no longer one table.
It's Grateful Chattanooga now.
Grateful, like F-U-L-L.
Yes, 2 L's.
Like I'm full. Grateful Chattanooga. Now, this is not just some event. If you go downtown, go on. I'm going to encourage you now to go Google, go on Facebook, and look at this. It is literally, I'm going to say a citywide mile block something, right?
It's a full block. It's
full block.
240 feet of table.
240 feet of table. So imagine women out there, men out there who cook for Thanksgiving. Imagine that kind of table at your house, right? So tell me again, how big?
240 feet.
So it's 240 feet of table in the center of the city. And you may be sitting by the mayor. You may be sitting by Chelsea. You may be sitting by someone homeless. You may be sitting by someone from another city. You do not know who's at that table. Now, they called it one table because obviously bringing people together, right?
Yep.
Now, this ended up, now it's Grateful. Let's say it's Grateful Chattanooga. It ended up in the national press. Talk about that.
Yeah, sure. So a little bit of background first. We started it in 2014. Causeway was really just getting going. We were doing our first challenge, which we'll come back to. It's our small grant making program, and they're all centered around a question. And so the question for that one was, how can we make Chattanooga a more connected city? So we were already thinking about what connects us, what divides us.
And those are contests, if you will. Those are contests, listener, that are literally launched to the city to ask a question. And the reason Causeway is asking it to say, how can we make our city better? So these challenges are periodically, quarterly, monthly, all different timing. But that was one of the challenges, again, to do what?
Make our city more connected.
So who came up with that idea?
For the challenge or for one table?
For both, for the challenge and for one table.
The challenge kind of preceded my time at Causeway. I think it was just a collection of people really seeing that there are individuals in Chattanooga who they're not necessarily connected with a nonprofit, or they're not an established business of their own, but they have great ideas about how to impact the city. And we really wanted to be kind of an open door for those people to bring their ideas.
All right. So now who came up with the actual, because now I know I love these contests. I love it. I share them on my Facebook. People send me messages. Oh my God, how can I win 5,000? They go through this stuff all the time. But who came up, because that's a clever idea. And that could be branded and monetized. I'm just saying, as a businesswoman, who was the citizen that came up with that?
With the idea for the challenge? I think it was a collection of kind of our...
No, I'm sorry, the actual event.
Oh, with one table?
Yeah, with the one table.
So it came up when we were walking to lunch one day as the staff. So that was the early days that you know of.
Yes,
it was myself and Abby Garrison and Heather Degatano and James Chapman.
I do.
The four staff members. I know.
Oh, I miss him.
I miss him terribly. But so the four of us were walking to lunch one day, and we were already thinking about what connects us and what divides us. And we were walking through on MLK in between Miller Park and Miller Plaza. Miller Park before it was renovated, obviously. This was 2014. And we were just kind of noticing the divide between the crowd that hangs out in Miller Plaza.
The physical divide.
Yeah, it just felt like an invisible wall was standing there. Of like a lot of the homeless community hangs out in Miller Park. A lot of the business community. I'm going to say it like this,
though, if I can. You know I'm about to come out with it.
I know you keep it real.
But you can also look downtown and see there's a white section and a black section, and I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't like that
I don't
either.
like it. And that's not to exclude anybody else, but depending on what side of the road you're on, what you're doing, it is very fragmented, or it can be.
Yeah. So we were just noticing that divide, noticing that wall, and it was our early days. We were throwing a lot of ideas around, and we were like,
throwing
what
them
happens?
on the wall to see what sticks.
Exactly. And this definitely stuck. We had no idea that it would become the thing that it's become now. But that year we were like, what if we host a dinner and invite both sides of this equation to the table? And that first year, 700 people came.
So 700 people the first time. And I love that, again, because what I like about it, when I look at the pictures, when I've participated, we're big fans of Causeway and the event. But what I like is it is truly, I've seen people uncomfortable around that table because they're either sitting next to someone, I'm going to say white people sitting next to black people sitting next to white people sitting next to homeless people. So as an HR person, Chelsea, I kind of look at behavior. So I look at that, but I love that people are saying, I'm going to put myself out there. I'm going to come down here and be a part of this.
Yeah, I think it really struck a nerve, and that's why it's been so successful. That's what I notice year after years. I think people really are looking for a place where they can meet people and talk to people who are different than them. But there aren't spaces to do that in your everyday life necessarily. And so it creates a space where it feels safe to do that.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk about Causeway. Now, I do want to make sure if you're out there, and I'm going to say, like I see West Car on Facebook, if you guys have a nonprofit, some of you out there who are looking for support or you have ideas, go to Causeway. You don't have to wait for a challenge. They are there always. This is what they do.
Absolutely.
So that's, a lot of people think they can only come in when the challenge is happening. No, if you have an idea, call them today. What is Causeway's number?
You're testing it here. 423-521-5444, I believe.
Yeah.
But you can also, if you go to causeway.org/share your idea, there's a short form. It asks you just a couple of questions about what you're working on. And that gets you a meeting set up directly with our program director who can point you in the right direction.
And the reason I'm doing that is because, again, if you're out there, you don't have to be a nonprofit. You can be a person with an idea, but take it to Causeway. They're going to sit down with you. Now, you better be ready to hear what they've got to say. They're going to tell you, okay, it's a good idea, but it's not a great idea. Here's how you can make it great. They're also going to tell you when there are ideas that somebody else is working on. And that kind of takes me back to where we're going with Causeway. So I'll tell you about, when was the wild card challenge?
It was 2015.
It's 2015. Right? So remember, I told the listener out there and the viewers on Facebook that I won $10,000. Okay, let me finish that. I myself didn't, but we were team. We did a challenge, and the challenge was, how do you make Chattanooga a place to live, work, learn, and play for everyone? And if you notice on the Donna Christian Lowe Chattanooga Midday show in the graphics, you'll see very lightly, live, work, learn, and play.
Oh, I hadn't noticed that.
Right. So all of those ideas, I will tell you, came from who I am. It came from Causeway. So during that time, we were a part of the challenge, Marty Lowe, myself. And what they did was very creative, intentional, and disruptive. Let me say it again, Chelsea. Where are you, Abby? It was disruptive. It
was a wild ride.
Woo, it was. Here's why. They put myself and Marty together. Trying to think who else was there. Tanisha, Bird, Anthony Bird, Harlan, help me out. Ronisha, Rowe, Devin, Cronenberg. So if you look up all these people, we're killing it in the community.
You really are.
But I'm going to be honest with you. We did not kill it at that table together, right? It was hard. It was, and it was professional. It was professional disruption, if you will. But it challenged all of us because they threw us together and said, okay, now all of you guys go together. Instead of individually, we want you to work together on this. So we threw the biggest party Chattanooga has ever seen on the Patton Parkway.
You did.
Wasn't it?
You did, absolutely.
It was killer. Clark Brewer was out there singing, but it was red, yellow, black, and white. So why did we do that? I want people to know today, Causeway helped me get where I am.
That's so sweet.
Let me say it again. It's sweet, but it's real. Causeway helped me get where I am and my husband. If you're not willing to lose, if you're not willing to sit down with people smarter than you, you are not going to get anywhere. And if you're not a collaborator, Chelsea, you don't fit into the Causeway environment.
Absolutely. That whole thing was a big experiment for us as well. Because for that particular challenge, we threw that question out and then we got all 5 of those applications that had similar ideas, and we didn't know how to choose between them because they all had a pretty similar vision. We didn't know any of these people. We were trying to pick one, and we were like, it's something like this. I think there's power in numbers. So what if we brought all of these people together, asked them to work together? And it was really tough.
It was. I'm going to say this, and nobody else might not, but it was the toughest thing I've been a part of in collaborating. Why? You had so many talented people at the table.
Absolutely.
And you had, and I'm not even going to say type A's, you had people who were already in their business, in their grain, knew what they were doing. But what it tells you is at no point in your career, but you don't marry anything. I tell people I'm not married to anything but my husband. So you can't be married to those ideas. You can't be, not to be great.
Yeah.
You can stay good, but you can't be great like that.
Exactly. But it's just so inspiring to see, you guys powered through, you made it happen. And all of you have just gone in such incredible directions. You're all doing incredible things.
Oh my
for
goodness,
the community.
Cronenberg, what's he doing? Is he like running arts and architectural something? I don't know.
He's doing a ton in the art world. I know he's a DJ.
Tanisha's doing real estate and her radio. And then we've got Harlan he's doing everything in Chattanooga, photography. You've got Bird on the council. It really poured into all of us. So again, back to Causeway, where there's a cause, there's a way. You guys have gone through some flack too, though. I'm going to say that, when you are doing good work, you better be ready for, the backlash. I don't care who you are, and I'm going to say this. I know that you guys are very intentional on being diverse. And because I keep it real, you said it, some people will come at you and say, oh, you're not being diverse. Well, I'm going to challenge that today because you are. Thanks. You are. Now, diverse to me is perception is reality, but I'm going to say that from my chair where I sit, you guys have been fair, equitable, and you have made sure that I don't know a time you haven't answered my call.
Thank you. We work really hard at that. We try. I mean, we're a really small staff.
How many on your team there?
We have 3 full-time people and 2 part-time people right now, and then 3 interns right now, who are all very part-time. And so with 3 full-time people, you want to be available to anyone anytime, but there's only so much that you can do. And then with diversity, we take that into account with every single decision that we make.
You do.
But we do get some pushback from that. And I know that people are in the right place when they're challenging that because they want the best for our city.
Yeah, let's make sure we say that. When you challenge Causeway or MSI or any company about diversity, as long as you're doing it the right way, it's okay. And the right way doesn't mean the way I would do it, right? Some people take to social media, they take to the radio, they take to TV, and that is okay because the good thing about, the democracy we have and about our city is that we do voice our opinions. As long as we do it in the right way, it can be productive. So, my reason for saying that is from my seat, my position, and I think that's important. If I have a voice on a radio, I still haven't figured out who gave me this microphone. Chelsea, if they figure
you were born to do this, Donna.
They are in trouble. But in that, I do believe highlight those good things. Doesn't mean Causeway's doing everything right. Doesn't mean I'm doing everything right. But let's go back to this event. So I want to challenge people. Now, do you guys need volunteers still?
I think that we're filled up on volunteers, but I always say really the most helpful thing for us is if you come to the potluck from 11:30 to 1:30 on Monday. So if you show up, you bring food, and you talk to someone you don't know, that's the biggest help we can offer.
Okay, let's say that again. First thing is do what?
Show up.
Show up.
Bring food. It's a potluck.
Bring food. Hang on. Bring food, bring food, bring food. Okay, go ahead.
And talk to someone that you don't know.
Talk to someone you don't know. Can I add to that?
Sure, yeah.
Number 4, make sure it's someone that doesn't look like you.
Absolutely.
So that's number 4. Make sure you tell Abby to add that to the official list.
We'll add it.
Add it. So talk about, I love people to know the funding. The thing about a nonprofit is everything's transparent. I love it. I love it. So talk about who supports Causeway, because these events, the Great Full, on Thanksgiving Day. Let's make sure again. What time does it start?
11:30.
On what day?
Monday.
Monday. I said Thanksgiving Day. Excuse me. It is Monday. This Monday. Say it again, Chelsea.
This Monday, the 19th, from 11:30 to 1:30.
And put it this way: if you go downtown, you're going to see it,
it's
right?
on MLK Boulevard. It's the 200 block right in front of the Bessie Smith Cultural Center, and I promise you can't miss us.
Awesome. So go back to the funding. Who funds Causeway?
Yeah. So Causeway was originally started in Delegator, which is a tech company in town, and it was started as kind of a volunteer-run project.
That.
Oh, did you not?
I did not.
Yeah,
and I'm an alumni.
It was a pretty different thing around then. It was 2010, right when crowdfunding was becoming popular, and so Delegator started it just as a side project that their employees would work on and get going as a local crowdfunding platform, which know that we did in our early days. We don't do that anymore.
Crowdfunding was the way to do it, but now it's like a thing of the past.
Yeah, and it's like there's so many other platforms that we wanted to focus our attention elsewhere. But so Delegator, once it had been up and running for a few years and it was kind of outgrowing what they could do as volunteers, they partnered with the Benwood Foundation, who gave us our initial funding for 3 years.
Thank you, Benwood.
Thank you, Benwood, because they really wanted an organization that was on the ground, working with community members.
Boots on the ground.
Yeah,
I love
taking
that.
the rich philanthropy that's in Chattanooga and bringing it to the ground floor and opening that door for anyone to be able to access it was our initial intent and is still our intent.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, and since then we've diversified our funding a lot. We have our latest challenge was funded by the McClellan Foundation.
Yay, McClellan Foundation.
Yeah, we have a lot of other, all the work we've done in Patent Towers was supported by the Lyndhurst Foundation.
Yes, the Patent Towers project, that's just so dear to my heart. And, every time I'm in that area, and it's often, you just see like there's new life there. There truly is. The people love to be sitting out front, and it looks different.
Yeah,
it's just a different feel to it when you drive down the street. They're part of that innovation district now. I love that.
We've got some big things coming up there as well, but maybe
make sure
I'll come on another time to talk about that.
Talk about that. So, something I want to talk about, and I know for my listener and for my viewer on Facebook, she's going to get real nervous right now, but being that I'm an HR person, I want to talk about the people running Causeway. Abby Garrison, I'll start with her. She's a friend of mine, dear friend of mine. We love to talk about the mom stuff, the crazy stuff we go through as moms. We love to talk about the business stuff, but she is an amazing executive director. How long has she been there?
As long as I have, or longer than I have, 5 years now,
5
I guess.
years. And you have been there right along with her, 4.5. So, from an HR executive standpoint, when you're hiring talent, once you leave that office, you just hope and pray the people inside have been trained and, they have the toolkit, if you will, to do what they need to do. But you guys kill it.
Thank you.
Your kindness and more importantly, your humility and how you do it. Ever since I've known you, and it's not about being in the front ever, but you guys are always in the front, but you and Abby and your team always find a way to be in the back. And I think that's part of your humble approach to what you do in your work. But talk about your team, because a lot of people don't understand it's a tight budget when you're running a nonprofit. And when you're doing what you guys are doing, you're, if you will, the blanket you guys cast is wide. Talk about your team. Who hires them? How are you retaining your team? Because you guys do a lot of work and you're just so nice and so humble in how you do it. And professional. Absolutely professional.
Thank you. I love our team. We couldn't do anything that we did without such an incredible team. And what I really love about Causeway is that we're a small team. Abby's done a great job of hiring each of us for specific roles that we really fit into well.
And what is your role?
So I'm the creative director. So
I already knew that.
Yeah, I knew that you did.
Yeah.
So I do all of the externally facing like design and communications. Shawanda Mason is on board part-time now, helping me with our social media and communications as well, which has been amazing. And then Emily Seawalk is our program director, who just runs all of our program. Now our alumni is up to, I think, like 600 people. And
did I tell them I'm a member of the alumni? Have I said that yet? Okay. Hey, guess what? I am an alumni.
So Emily just runs all of those programs and keeps track of everyone's progress and their impact and does an awesome job at that. So what I love is that we all have our zones that we're responsible for, but there's never an attitude of, oh, that's not my job.
Like
we
stay
all,
in your lane.
Yeah,
right?
we all kind of jump on board and do whatever needs to be done.
Well, and that's what I love too. When we're there, I saw that you guys stay in your lane. There's this cross-pollination that happens, but everybody's maximizing on what they do well. And that's what y'all taught us, Again, I'm going to go back and say, Causeway, thank you, because what the injection that we had at that time truly helped me. I would say it helped my husband and myself individually, collectively, to kind of catapult. So find yourself. Wes Carr, I'm going to call you out for the Victoria W. Carr Foundation. You need to reach out to them and make sure you're connecting. There are so many ideas you have right now that I just don't even know if you guys have done anything in the domestic violence realm. If you have,
well, we've had a couple of people come through our co-starters class and things like that.
Well,
but
I'm going to make sure to connect you, because that's what we're doing, Chelsea. We're going to connect people to what they need to help them live their best life.
Absolutely.
Next week, we got some people on here that you know about. So Monday, we're talking about the Thanksgiving Union Gospel event, and I call it an event, but it's a lunch, it's a dinner, and it's at the Bessie. And they do this every year. And it's funny when I look at the picture, I can't tell if these are business suit people coming down for lunch, if they're home. You just can't tell. And I love that again. And I know you're like this. There's enough events in this city for everybody to go to, right? Tuesday, we've got Josh Rowe from TV9. We got Dr. David Banks from the city of Chattanooga. You know him. Wednesday, you might want to tune in, because we got Tammy Zerkop. We're going to all learn about safety during the holiday, right? Women need to know that. Ashley Hardaway, who's also going to be referral to you guys. She's developed a new business app for grief. And it is amazing. She's done a rollout. So she's really got the marketing side of it, but I think you guys can help her move it on. And then finally, Friday, my dear friend, Franklin McCauley.
Oh, yeah.
And he is just amazing what he does in the city. You can see him and spot him in all the pictures.
You can. He's ahead above the rest, literally and figuratively.
I'm not talking about like just any picture, not the one table, because it's no longer one table. It is Grateful Chattanooga table. So somehow his big head shows up in all the pictures, right?
Yep.
All right.
He's a very tall man.
Well, I want to make sure, we are running out of time, but I want to make sure, where do they go to the Causeway website? And you can get them on Facebook, Instagram, see them out there. But if you're trying to get your information to them and say, hey, I need to meet to talk to somebody, where is it?
Causeway.org/share your idea.
All right. I am so grateful and humbled that you listened to me today. I should not be here, but you know what? They gave me a microphone, Chattanooga, so I'm going to keep doing this every Monday through Friday on the Donna Lowe Chattanooga Midday Show. We're connecting people, information, and resources so you can live your best life. Again, we're Donna, and we're out of here.
Three, two, one.
Chattanooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4. 92.7 FM's news now.
TDEC says Petticoat Creek fuel spill was due to illegal dumping. Heading contract workers with Norfolk Southern cleaning a holding tank at the Dubutte's rail yard reportedly pumped contaminants right into the creek. This causing a massive cleanup effort, which only concluded last month. Norfolk Southern has agreed to pay $60,000 in fines.